Greetings, and unfortunately this isn't a fun video. I learnt just after waking up today that Metatron, good friend to the channel, just friend in general honestly, his entire channel has been completely demonetized, which is unbelievable. It's shocking, it's disgusting that it's going to honestly happen. He hasn't broken any terms of service or anything like that. The reasons that they've given for demonetizing his channel are nonsense, okay? And having learnt about this waking up just before our live stream, we actually listen to his video, his announcement, and share our in-depth thoughts, not just my own, but also Nate's and Tyrant's as well, talking about, you know, why this might have happened, ways in which you would be able to support him and help him out in this terrible time. I get... This is one of the worst things that, you know, could happen to a YouTuber, as we explain in the live stream. So this is actually a supercut of that response and discussion where we talk about this and ways in which you're able to help out. So unfortunately, we have a bit of a news item that's a bit of an emergency thing that we really need to signal boost, because a good friend of the channel, Metatron, has just been mass demonetized, like all his videos.
On 2 channels, apparently, as well, on both of his channels.
I only learned about it this morning, and I got a lot of thoughts on it. We're going to watch his announcement video. This is a nightmare for any YouTuber, and this is the sort of Damocles that hangs over all of us. And when I've warned that this is a dangerous reality that could happen to us and to anyone, and it's just happened to Metatron. And I have my speculations as to what could have caused it.
Yes.
And we will listen to him, and this is just another example of why everyone who is supporting us, how essential it is, how important it is, and if any of you are able to, please go and support Metatron. I've been a Patreon of his for years, okay, because I like to support the creators in the community of the sword, because I want this community to grow, and I want all of us to flourish, and so... I don't know how Metatron's like. This would be a nightmare. This would be a catastrophe. Now, we've mentioned that we're in a stronger place now than ever before thanks to community support, right? But we're still reliant on ad revenue. It's now a joint thing. And so before we were just surviving only off ad revenue. Then ad revenue went off a cliff and it was unsustainable. And we were in catastrophe mode. All of you guys just came out, you know, just really, you know...
banded together and got us out of a tough spot.
Really did. Unfortunately, we are not unreliant on average revenue, though. It's a joint thing that we're able to get by. And so if this happened to us, this would be a catastrophe as well. We were like... And so, man, I hope Metatron will get remonetized. I'm not sure, though. We'll listen to his video.
Yeah, and just as a quick note on this, myself and Tyrant have watched little bits and pieces of this video. This is the first time Shad has seen this video. So there may be a couple of very hard-hitting pauses as he watches this.
I hope he'll get remonetized, or if not, I hope the community can, you know, rally together and help this guy out, because Metatron makes phenomenal videos and he's been killing it lately. His videos have been absolutely legendary. And so let's listen to his video and see what's going on.
Hey Noble Ones, thank you so much for clicking this video. I'm sorry if this is a little bit of an unusual upload for this channel, and it sort of disrupts a little bit the upload schedule of the sort of content that I used to, but unfortunately something happened in the last 24 hours and I thought it would be a good idea to let you know what's going on. So when I woke up this morning and I looked at my channel as I usually do through the YouTube studio, I noticed that monetization disappeared completely. All 837 videos on my platform right now are not monetized. And when I say they're not monetized, I'm not saying that they have the red dollar. They have no dollar symbol at all. In fact, even my YouTube partner is gone. I'm not a partner of YouTube anymore. So what the heck is going on?
Maybe just clarify like the connection to YouTube when things like this happen and how vital having that partner is.
So we don't have a partner either.
Oh,
we used to.
I thought we did.
No.
We used to.
We used to, and he was great. He was really, really good. Then, I don't know, there was restructuring. Never got an email of someone new. And it's been, then I just don't have a contact anymore. Like, I remember emailing her, and she's like, oh, sorry, I'm not working at YouTube anymore. And then, nothing.
When you get a demonetized video, that video dies. Like, it's just dead. The views will go to zero basically, and obviously you don't make any money from it. It's a big deal.
So
and
just
for one video, for one.
Jörg Sprave, he is the creator of the Slingshot channel. He's proven this, right? He showed the tracking data, the real-time views of a video. It got demonetized. The views just went off a cliff. Like they just basically went to zero. And he appealed it. And when it got remonetized, straight back up.
Okay.
I mean, so this stuff is already proven. And
So
a little
that's
bit
just
behind the
that'll be
scenes.
just like one video. This is his whole channel.
Yeah,
That's
this is everything.
catastrophic.
Well, actually, this is everything on both of his channels because he's got one where he talks about history and some of his takes on that sort of a thing, but a lot of it is from because he's a scholar. A lot of it is from his experience and his knowledge, and then he's got a second one that is a language channel.
Not mentioning how people can also abuse the DMCA takedown. Man, that's a whole rabbit hole that is just not even like.
No, but there is that. That is an issue.
That is.
But also mass flagging. The issue with flagging, and I suspect flagging. I'm going to listen to Metatron and I'm going to share my own speculation here. But I suspect mass flagging is one of the causes for this.
I don't know much, and I haven't experienced any flagging. I've experienced DMCAs and I've experienced demonetization, but not flagging. So I have actually no idea how that affects a video or anything like that.
Well, it can affect a channel in
okay.
this way.
Right.
I'll talk more on this in a sec.
So I looked into it and I noticed that there is a message telling me that my monetization is on hold right now. And the motivations behind this are really strange. They say that they are trying to prevent fraud and therefore they needed me to send identification proof, which of course I did. The fact that they stopped monetization and decided to put everything on hold on the 15th, which is the day in which we content creators get paid through YouTube, which means I'm not getting paid through YouTube, a massive inconvenience for me. And then
So, not only that, right? YouTube if this was the day he was getting paid, that meant his videos actually were earning money for the previous month. YouTube has gotten their cut of all that money, and he's not getting paid for money that was accrued because those videos did have ads during that time.
Yep.
They won't be earning any money now, but is actually not getting paid for money that is legitimately there, that the videos have made, that YouTube has taken their cut on, and that actually that YouTube will have been taking all the monetization off on if he's not getting paid.
I would almost bet money on the fact that if people watch his channel now, even though it's not demonetized, even though it's demonetized at the moment, there will still be ads on videos.
Well,
like
YouTube
that's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, they do
YouTube
that.
monetizes
They
everything.
They changed that a while back. They
Yeah,
monetized
so
it.
scummy.
I'm not sure what he means by verify the identity.
This is really strange.
Yeah, because there's no verification process for identities throughout all of the YouTube process. There's no identity on YouTube per se. It's usually on
AdSense.
Yes,
I think there
it's on the
is.
AdSense where you do your tax stuff. It's not actually on YouTube where you have like your name or anything like that. It's
bizarre unless
channel's that name.
this is why this is so straight. Like this reason for demonetization, I've actually never heard of, but I've heard of bizarre, bonkers reasons that channels have been demonetized. There's a channel called the Lotus Eaters. Their entire channel got demonetized recently because it was associated with someone who was demonetized. Not that the channel is actually owned by him. It's Carl Benjamin, if you don't know him, and he owns the Lotus Eaters, but it's a separate entity as a business, okay? And so he's like just the CEO. But because of the association, that channel did not break terms of service at all. And seriously, support him if you can. He has a Patreon. I've supported, and I'm a member of his Patreon for years already. And so just $1 to $5 is what he needs right now to hopefully give him some security and sustainability. And so, yeah, YouTube can demonetize people for just basically they're willing to do it for any bogus reason because they don't like the creator. That's the unfortunate thing, and that's the vibes I'm getting from this.
Well, my experience with demonetization, I actually made a blaster because I make lightsabers. I made a blaster and it got demonetized for firearm content. And the video was
Star Wars blaster.
Yeah, it was tracking perfectly fine. Demonetized, boom, dead, zero, and you can't even appeal it because the reasoning isn't like the reasoning is wrong. I mean, technically they're right. They just don't like firearms. So the video.
It's a fake.
I know, but
it can also yeah.
So ever since then, and this is one of those things where it's insidious because it decentivizes you to make that sort of content.
Yeah.
That was a great video. I loved making it, but I'm never going to do it again because first off, it demonetized. That can affect your channel. And then on top of that, you're not actually making money from the video you made. It's a very sneaky way of getting rid of the content that you don't want.
It's scummy. It's absolutely scummy.
I've been told by YouTube that the process of verification is going to take several days. In the last 28 days only, my channel generated 4 million views. This means that every single day that this situation remains as is, I'm losing hundreds of thousands of monetizable views that not only are not getting monetized, therefore effectively wasting all of the work that I put in the last, I want to say 12 uploads, not to mention the back catalog, but it also means that even if they take, say, 10 days to fix this problem and reinstall me into monetization and everything, those 10 days will mean at least 1.5 million views that will never be monetized, in the sense that that's gone. It's not going to come back. Now,
And if his views have tanked because of demonetization, that could totally wreck the momentum his channel had. His channel was absolutely killing it recently.
It was marathoning, so it had done its paces, and it was finally gaining good ground. He was getting good views.
I went to his channel just recently, right? And
Consistent ground.
And I saw the views, and I was watching his videos like a lot because the recent ones have just been great. And I always try and watch his videos, by the way, but sometimes there's just the content, the quality just attracts you more often, and that was happening with me because his videos have been rocking recently. And then I saw his views, and they were great, and so this was separate to all of this. I just messaged him to say how awesome he's going, right? And all of that could potentially be completely ruined because of this demonetization. This sucks so much for a creator. You guys have no idea.
There's a reason why we delist these live streams as soon as we're done, because they negatively affect the channel. So
yeah, we want to interact with you guys, but at the same time,
we get punished for it, basically.
Yeah, and there's, on a side note as well, Metatron recently had to delete his Facebook page and make a new Facebook account and make a new one because of harassment that he was getting in response to.
how recent?
This is quite recent.
Yeah, okay. In response to
the videos that he's making, because he has been making videos that are a historical analysis of multiple things. Okay. Is Cleopatra really black? And he actually goes into that because they're topical. It's in the kind of public conversation. What's the reality of the LGBT kind of representation in ancient Greece and stuff? And they're really well researched, and they're great videos, and they're getting lots of views because they're actually important for the public conversation currently. And especially for the way that people have been trying to politicize certain historical facts. Metatron has been making just phenomenal videos, pushing back just for the name of history, historical accuracy. And these videos are phenomenal, okay? But they also are very disliked from the people who love to politicize and misrepresent history for their own kind of agenda. And as a result, he has been getting a lot more harassment online. And I have a feeling that there's been a mass flagging thing on his channel to try and...
funnily enough, I've got a feeling that it may be that too. And like in that regard, like I know, everybody has different opinions, but for the sake of brevity here, like I lean fairly heavily left. I would normally go to things like rallies and marches and things like that to support my friends and family. But what Metatron is saying in a lot of these videos historically is usually factually correct, if not 100% factually correct. Like, he checks his sources. It's not how we do society today. It's not how I would like to do society, but it's factually and historically correct. So it's unfortunate if people are, targeting him for that specifically, because it's not fighting the right fight, I would believe. It's offside, it's a little bit off topic, but I hope that's not what's happened here.
Unfortunately, that's what I think has happened. And I'll explain a bit more after the video. But I know he's had to delete his Facebook page as a result, because when I went to message him on Facebook, it wasn't there. And I had to email him directly saying, "Is everything all right, man?" He's like, "Yeah." He explained it. Now I'm connected with his new Facebook account, and so that's already been happening. And then this on top of it is just there is some correlation happening that might explain some of this, but we'll continue watching.
Now, I've been thinking long and hard on what my response as a content creator should be to the fact that right now, both my channel, not just this one, but also my second channel, are completely demonetized and generate no money. Now, it's not that this is all about money, but of course, when I make a video of mine, because I want to make sure that I ensure the sort of level of due diligence and research that I know you guys expect of me, and rightly so. I generally speaking work 15 hours a day, and this continues for days because my research on my videos not only needs to be very deep, but also I have contacts. I have a professor in Rome, and I've got a few other contacts, a few linguists. I do have contacts through academia that help me review and double check my work just to make sure that the information I present is correct, because as you know, that's what I try to do on this channel, spread truth. Now, justifying 15 hours of work every single day for $0, it's financially catastrophic. So I've been thinking, what should I do? Should I halt production until they resume monetization on my platform? And the answer is no, I'm not going to do that, because I don't want you to be penalized since you didn't do anything wrong. And honestly, I think I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not spreading hate. All I'm doing is trying to inspire people to look into history in a completely different way and perhaps even find it fun and interesting. But even though this is going to hit me, and it's going to hit me hard, I don't want it to hit you in any possible way. So my production will continue as planned. I will put the same amount of research, the same amount of work and dedication to the truth and to presenting information in a fun, entertaining and highly edited way as I always did. And I'll do it even though this doesn't just mean working for no revenue, it means losing money. I pay an artist to draw my thumbnails. That's going to come out of my pocket. I of course need to pay my rent and bills, and they blocked it right before I was getting my salary, but I will do it. Of course I can't keep this up indefinitely, as it will
talk about how YouTube pays you. It's first off, you get paid monthly. The payments actually go, I think they're about the 12th or something, they actually get paid into the AdSense, and then they get paid to you on like the 23rd, 4th of each month.
My wife, who is wonderful, handles all of it. I can't even remember the exact day, but
it's about that. So you're basically, there's two steps. First, it leaves YouTube on about the 12th of every month, and then about the 22nd or 3rd or something like that, they actually paid into your account. And they tax you twice, basically. Especially in our country, you'll get
Thrice.
Yes, actually 3 times. YouTube takes a cut, then the US takes a cut, and then you get paid into. Then your government that you live in taxes it again.
We used to be able to avoid the US taxation because of the tax treaty Australia has between. But now, even with the tax treaty, you can only claim a reduction, and US will still take 5% now, which is just it's frustrating.
Awesome.
I can try and claim that back on the Australian tax end, but we have to go through hoops to do that. But
I'm pretty sure as well, if you don't actually give proper tax information for the US government, they just take a base rate of 20%.
yeah, they do. They do.
So
You have to like show that you're an Australian,
Yeah.
provide all this documentation to even get the reduced amount.
It's-
Otherwise, they just take a flat.
It's ridiculous. I'm gonna say something spicy here. Taxation is theft, especially when I get taxed 3 times.
Oh, it's just crazy. And YouTube already, like the cut YouTube takes is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It's 30%, and that's still too much. Okay, especially for super chats, super thanks, and memberships. They still take that 30%.
I didn't expect to get so annoyed so early just thinking about this stuff.
So this is why we do encourage people to support us through Subscribe Star and Player, because they take 5%.
Yeah.
Compared to 30%.
That's actually not a joke, guys. You get taxed 3 times on the money you make from like ad revenue. It's insane.
Yeah. That's 3 individual times. And when you go through some of the other channels, it's 1/6 of the amount of tax or cuts that are being taken. So,
Like, genuinely, after all the taxes happen, from the money I generate versus the left over, it's about half.
Yeah.
It's about half. It's just like...
drain all of my savings, and I also have of course a wife and a family to support. If any of you noble ones wishes to step in this time of need and emergency, and you wish to support me and my work, then this could be a great time to either become a Patreon, or if you don't like Patreon as a platform, you can PayPal me directly, and I will have a link in the description below. And if
That's the main way. I like Patreon. He has a Subscribe Star. So guys, like, you probably don't understand how much and how helpful it is, even just $1, like that $1 a month, because if enough people are able to do that, that's sustainability. That's the same for us. That's the same for Metatron. And so
Well, because we had so much support from the community, from you guys, we've actually upped the production of behind the scenes content, and we're actually like making just dedicated videos for behind the scenes. We've got outtakes from our regular videos. We've got longer form videos of the actual videos. We cut them down for YouTube, and then we have timed exclusives where they're videos that are just really good that, you know, we want to give it to everybody.
Yeah,
We don't want to put that behind. We put it, you get it early, and then YouTube gets it.
And there's one currently for members that you can get access to. Like, we got a fun, you know, package delivery from Calamasil, and you get to see a prototype I'm working on with Calamasil in developing a new LARP sword, right? That's in that video that only members and supporters have access to at the moment. That will go out to everyone eventually because it's a fun video. But
we've also got the tour as well.
Oh yeah, the tour, and that's purely
that's going to be going out to everyone at some point.
And some very candid stuff. Like, we'll, instead of, oh, okay, you know, that cover, that take didn't work, the camera just keeps rolling. So Nathan, who is behind the omniscient voice at the moment, will just keep rolling and, you know, shoot some stuff that is either funny or educational in some instances. It's just good extra content.
For this week's behind the scenes, we've got two, actually. We've got one from our big video we did yesterday. We've got that one's getting cut together. And we've actually got another one where me, Nate, and Nathan just run through some of the stuff, our thoughts on some videos. Like, our thoughts that we have on videos. That's going to be going out as well for behind the scenes. So we're ramping it up because we want to give back to you guys for supporting the best way we can.
If you don't have PayPal, you can also use my wife's Venmo. That's also going to be in the description. I want to thank each and every single one of you who will choose to support me today and help me navigate through this moment of difficulty. I know that some people in the comment might see a little bit of a conspiracy in this, in the sense that, well, hold on a second, so you post videos that YouTube might disagree with, and then all of a sudden it just so happens that coincidentally this mass demonetization happens on your channel?
I wouldn't say that's too much of a coincidence. Like, it's par for the course for YouTube in terms of what they've been willing to do to many creators.
Usually it's only like one or two videos, though.
An entire channel is
to
a
have
bit
your
much.
entire channel.
Yeah,
that's different.
It's bonkers, but it happens more often than people realize. Like I said, Lotus Eaters recently, and there's just a whole hit list of channels that just get demonetized across the board. It happened to gun channels.
Oh yeah.
GunTube has got done, which is where we were scared being SwordTubers. Like, we're doing this as, you know, this is a sport. This isn't a you know, you're going out, and people don't carry swords these days usually. Whereas with guns they do, so you can understand the logic.
We had a little bit more evidence though.
And in regards to sword tubers, but also history tubers and stuff like that, we've been seeing shadow banning and suppression of content across the board. Like, I have videos and live streams breaking it down, showing that, at this point in time, there is distinct, you know, suppression of content. It's not going out to all the creators. And YouTube, like the former CEO, she came out and said this, that they will prioritize authoritative content and they curate recommendations, and especially the trending page, okay? They've admitted this on multiple occasions, that there are the videos that get the highest recommendations are never organic. They're selected by YouTube to push the content that they want you to see, not the content that you've subscribed to and want to see.
Do you remember when there was like a van life YouTuber who had like one video or two videos, and they were like 5-6 million views.
First video.
Yeah, and everybody was like,
she ever made.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Something's fishy here.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, there was a celebrity who was interested on coming onto YouTube and stuff like that, and they were at this meet and greet, YouTube meet and greet thing. And the CEO went up to her and says, yes, make content for YouTube. We'll make sure that you will get 1 million subscribers by the end of the week. We'll push your videos. And just flat out saying that they prioritize videos and content that they deem is what they want YouTube to be. And guess what happens? If you're prioritizing certain content, by natural reality, they are suppressing other content. The views and recommendations that could have gone to these videos are taken away to give to the ones that they're prioritizing. And so, Armchair Historian, he reached out to me saying, yeah, that they've been just suffering under this new system where ad revenues just dropped off a cliff.
There's also the issue of the Canadian government just passing that bill where they prioritize Canadian content creators, which means like corporations and stuff. So there's going to be default changes to the algorithm in Canada, which is a problem because now if Canada can do it, Every other country can
And
do it.
they've actually already did that in Australia. We had our news broadcasting agencies absolutely demand that they get
I
to
remember that.
the front page of YouTube. So now if you're watching, or if you VPN to Australia, you'll see now that regardless of whether it's trending or not, you'll have some of our channels like 9 News
There's
and
like
7 News.
a little tab where
I ignore it all the time.
there's,
it still
there's
pops
basically
up.
like a little tab with just news from our country.
Yeah, and if you just do it in a vertical scroll, it just looks like one of the other videos that happens to be trending because basically somebody stomped their feet.
It's a mess, the current situation. And so when Metatron says that coincidence, it's not a coincidence. And this is the sword of Damocles that the community of the sword is under, because
Well, I think
YouTube arbitrarily could decide, and maybe not arbitrarily, by the way, decide that swords are a bit too violent. Yeah, so we don't want to support sword weapon content.
He is being very fair though, in that he said he's going to give YouTube like 10 days or whatever to if it's
figure
a
it out.
mistake, fix the mistake. If it's not a mistake, well, okay, well, that's something different then. So that is very fair. I don't know if we would be that we would be freaking out.
We would try to be that resilient.
Unfortunately, if he doesn't have a YouTube contact, the only way to actually get YouTube to wake up and get some other people who might be more fair
It's a
in their
public campaign,
yeah,
which is insane.
It's a Twitter storm. Unfortunately,
that's what I was gonna say,
the
Twitter
Twitter
being
storm
able
is
to-
the only way to get this going. And so
We'll
that-
see how it goes first.
I-
We'll see how it goes before we sound the war trumpets, as it were.
I'm ready to, though. I don't have a huge Twitter following, but I'm connected with people who have better followings than me, and maybe we can get some support going your way, mate, and get YouTube to wake up and see what's going on.
I know it looks like they're trying to silence me, but I work with evidence, and honestly, coincidence is a mathematical possibility. Maybe I'm a little naive, but I honestly don't think that YouTube is trying to silence me. I just think that this happened for reasons that I don't know.
See, I don't know. To me, the correlation is too strong with the content you've been making recently and the pattern that you see with people who make content that seems to... And he hasn't been targeting the left. He's just been saying, I'm making content about historical accuracy, unfortunately, because there is a more mainstream kind of interpretation of certain historical facts. There's been backlash from that.
I mean, one thing I did do yesterday was to apply for the new membership program, because I noticed that all other content creators are doing that, and I came up with some cool ideas and perks, and I applied for the membership program, where you can become members of the channel, and it was approved. So I found it approved. But maybe because of that, now they needed me to confirm my ID.
They didn't have to really.
No, there's a bunch of monetization perks. You just click, am I eligible? You'll get some green ticks if you're eligible, and then they just go up. That's it.
Like, this is the type of response where someone at YouTube needs or to have done it manually. This isn't an automated thing. And for someone to do it manually, to be, I guess, made aware, tipped off to give a critical look at... And this is the frustrating thing. He hasn't broken terms of service, okay? This is a bogus thing, but it has to have been done manually. And this is the type of stuff that people usually do when because there's bad actors in YouTube that do not treat channels fairly. And when there's a channel that they dislike, there's been evidence that they've done this before, that they will demonetize unfairly because they simply don't like the content, don't like the creator. And... look, this is speculation, but we've seen multiple examples.
There is an easy way to confirm it. If he was to do a review on a video, like double check it, they do it by manual review. So you would be able to tell instantly if somebody's doing it on purpose. Again, the problem is, once they do that and they say, no, it's demonetized forever. You can't fix that.
Well, the only way to fix it after that is the Twitter storm.
Yes.
And I've had to do that. Like, I had... my fight scene autopsy. It was for Rings of Power. Rings of Power is that got corporate protection in terms of criticism. Okay, we saw a lot of it where, oh my goodness, there were examples of the type of protection Rings of Power was getting. And it didn't work, by the way, because it was a terrible show. But anyway, I did a fight scene autopsy in it, and I had a clip in that video of Aragon stabbing the Urukai through the gut and then chopping off his head. Because I did a reference point and I referenced that clip and we showed the clip in the Feisty Autopsy, got demonetized for that. And I appealed it.
I was going to say, you're allowed to actually like review stuff with copyright law.
Yeah. I appealed it. It got rejected again. And the most frustrating thing, there is multiple, like hundreds of clips of that very scene on YouTube that were fully monetized. So the only way I could do it, I had to do a Twitter storm. I had to contact YouTube support on Twitter and get heaps of people retweeting and stuff. And then finally they looked at it and they monetized it. It's just insane that's the avenue you got to take.
Most people don't have access to this. So once after that first manual review is done, that's it. It's just done. That's the end of the story.
If you don't have enough
of a following,
I would have been screwed.
Yep.
And so, because this has to have been done manually, I really get the impression that
if it was done manually, what I'm guessing, and I could be completely wrong here, what I'm guessing is it's somebody who's gone in and has seen Metatron's thumbnails and titles, glanced at them, taken a look at the last few, and gone, I don't like that, we're going to go click. Now that's maybe if. The problem is if that's actually occurred, that is by its own beast YouTube's fault, because YouTube is the one who wants the more dramaticized, the clickable thumbnails. You want that little bit of attention, that grabbing.
But the thing is, though, there are hundreds of creators that do way worse thumbnails than Metatron.
Absolutely.
Probably an automated thing. The whole channel was automated.
Well, no, it has to have been manually to demonetize the whole thing like this.
Oh, I don't think so.
See, I reckon it was.
I reckon it was a mass flag. He got a couple of videos and they just went all the videos.
Okay, so you reckon it was automated based on manual mass flagging?
Yeah.
Which might also explain.
I was going to say that you guys are saying the same thing in two different ways, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, because his more recent videos that are getting a lot of traction have upset a lot of people that want to represent history in a different lens, and they've already been harassing him on Facebook and stuff, and these groups do mass flagging campaigns to try and take down content they don't like. They've done it in the past.
What we're saying might have happened is if let's say 3 videos get mass flagged, they will get demonetized, which will flip a switch, and then YouTube will go, okay, all the videos are demonetized now until we figure it out. That's what they do at YouTube. They will shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay.
But the mass flagging can also tip off a manual reviewer that agrees with the types of complaints that people will be making, and they choose to just demonetize the entire channel manually.
True.
We'll have to wait and see to see what's happened.
I don't know. I mean, that's the only change that happened in the last 24 hours that could even begin to justify this. So as I say, I know that some people will think that there is more to this. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I personally kind of don't think that there is more to it. But we can see, because if a few days pass, if they reinstall me after that, it's still a bummer, but it would show that they're not trying to silence me. Of course, if instead they tell me, no, sorry, you don't qualify for monetization anymore, so you're not going to be a partner anymore, then in that case I would have to agree, yes, then they're doing it on purpose. But I don't want to kind of speak ahead of myself, and perhaps that's not going to happen. Maybe 5 days, 10 days from now, the situation will be reinstalled. Unfortunately, with a significant financial repercussion, because as I say, I'm losing money right now as I speak. And with each passing days, it's another 100,000 to 200,000 views that could have been monetized and haven't and never will. I apologize for taking time from your day with something that isn't the usual.
He's one of the most polite guys on the internet. And even when he is disagreeing with people, he is so polite about it, and especially in the videos he's been making.
Historical, entertaining video that sheds light into the world. I really hope that the situation gets resolved soon in a positive manner, that we reach equilibrium. And once again, for those of you who are deciding to support me today and help me push through this, thank you.
Thoughts are with you, Metatron. Going to try and support you in any way we can. Hopefully it does get resolved. And look, if it needs to more attention, you have to do the whole Twitter storm route. I'll help you out with that as well.
Metatron, our thoughts are with you. It is terrible what has happened, and we hope that his channel gets back to
I'll be
very soon.
We'll be keeping posted on that.
I'll be watching very closely. Just can we bring this up, right? Which button do I press? Yeah. Just on an aside note, just to show how my connection with Metatron. We're good friends. Okay, we go back. I made that symbol for him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I did not know that
for him. When we were talking about, updating his look and everything like that, I actually put that into SketchUp, then Photoshop effects, and get the angles and everything like that. And so he's my bro. I love Metatron. He's a good friend, and look, and he still uses the icon I made for him, and I'm proud of it. So this really is a terrible situation. I'll be watching it very closely, and hopefully it will be able to get resolved soon. That this was just a glitch and is not what I am afraid of it being, which is a type of targeted mass flagging campaign to try and demonetize him, because people don't like the fact that he stands for accurate historical, representation and things. He's been making great videos. He's a phenomenal channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, please subscribe, but also help out in any way you can. As I mentioned in the supercut, I've been a patron of his for a long time. Gonna still support him, help him out in any way I can. Hopefully it'll all be able to get fixed. Thank you to everyone who is supporting him and also supporting us. Well, because your favorite creators in the community of the sword, we need it now more than ever. So thank you to everyone who is, and we'll be watching this closely. So until next time, farewell.